Hi, team. I am Fitz Kohler, your host and very noisy race announcer of the Donna Show. We just had an extraordinary event weekend featuring the Black Knight DONNA Mother's Day 5K. Endless amount of fun was had and endless amount of good was done. And we really appreciate you all being a part in our special event. And so we're just going to gush about it. That's what we're here for to do. We're just going to gush about all the goodness. And if we float out of our chairs, forgive us. It was a really good time. So I am going to introduce our cast of characters who make everything so special, starting with the Queen Bee, our executive director, race director, Amanda Napolitano.
Hey, everybody.
You know what? You are such a hardworking person. You create magnificent events, and I know the difference, right? I get to see so many of them. But I also, when I was looking through photos while creating the recap video, there was none of you. And even though I hated it because I was looking, this is the engine behind it all. She's being the engine, and it's just really impressive what you put together.
Thank you, Fitz. It's just not about me at all. I mean, it is all about lifting everyone that's there. So I love it that there's no photo of me because that's the point, right? It's about everybody else. 100%. Yeah.
Well, you're right. I would have loved to see your beautiful smiling face. We caught a few of you at the marathon weekend, which is probably unavoidable, but yeah, it was something I noticed. I was like, oh, she's just out there being the engine, which is what you're supposed to do. So well done.
Thank you. It was a beautiful day.
It was incredible. And hopefully we raised a whole bunch of funds so we can help a whole bunch of people. And here to tell us about that, we have Chaz Runfola, Senior Director of Development for the Donna Foundation. Hello, Chaz.
Hey, everyone.
How are you today?
I am great. Amanda and I just got back from an awesome event, also celebrating, advances in breast cancer. So it's a great transition into a fun night online with all of you.
Yeah. Awesome. And then we have one of the reasons for the seasons, one of our breast cancer patients / survivors who she's a total ray of sunshine. And I'm happy to know her. Here she comes. Leah Stromer.
Leah.
What you got around your neck, Leah?
I'm still wearing the medal, you guys. That's wore it all right. Wore it all day long. Take it off when I sleep. Yeah, no, it was such a fabulous day. I'm still glowing for sure.
And am I wrong? But aren't you the inspiration behind the lotus flower? Is that right?
Yeah. So I had coffee with Amanda and Chaz, and we were kind of talking about, this whole breast cancer journey that I've been on. And I've known Amanda before my breast cancer diagnosis because I was with, Galloway and running the Donna races because I loved the energy and had a friend that had breast cancer. And she had asked me, what kind of inspired you or, what kind of kept you going? And I had read a book about 6 years ago called No Mud, No Lotus. And that for some reason it popped in my head one day as I was thinking, what am I going to do with all this? Yeah. And started thinking about the lotus. And that has literally kept me going throughout the whole process is just waiting for, looking for the lotus on the surface. There's always going to be beauty at the top. You got to push through the mud to get there, but knowing it's going to be there. So this medal is extra special to me.
And hold it up again. Hold it up nice and high. So pretty. So pretty. And then Amanda's wearing the shirt. Let's see that t-shirt. Very simple, very beautiful.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Definitely inspired all of the creative thinking behind it. This technically was an inaugural event in a way because it was the first time we had an in-person 5K with the Black Knight, Donna Mother's Day event. Last year, when we sort of introduced this concept, it was virtual. It was 100% virtual. So, it was sort of a your way idea where you could go and run a 5K if you wanted to, but you could also practice yoga or go for a bike ride and all of those things you could have still done this year. But last year's medal was a wine glass stop or a wine stopper. I mean, we were in the
Nothing
middle
wrong with
of
that.
virtual, madness, right? And so it was just entirely appropriate that be what the theme was. But I really wanted to connect this year with something more special. And I mean, as soon as Leah said that at our coffee date, I was like, that's it. That's it. That is what will be the theme for this.
I love it.
And it worked out beautifully. Thank you, Thomas and Megan over at Big Run Media for the execution of that design based on Leah's story. It's amazing.
They're really talented. And listen, you use the word inspiration. And so I'm going to go with that. And we're going to hear from the founder of the Donna Foundation, Donna Deegan. Here she comes. Yay.
Hi, everybody. I just want to say thank you so very much for participating in our first Mother's Day 5K in historic Riverside. That was so much fun. What a natural for us, right? We used to have our Mother's Day event on Sunday at the Players Championship. They moved, and so we really felt like we wanted to reconnect that whole Mother's Day vibe that we had for so long. And, we really are so much about mothers at the Donna Foundation. And it was so fun for me to have my 2 kids there running with me. And I got to tell you, it was such a kick for me to see so many generations running together. I loved seeing moms and daughters and their children and grandparents. It was just, gosh, it was beautiful. I really loved this run. I hope you did too. I think this could be one of those things that really becomes a marquee event for us because we really do have a connection with mothers. As I mentioned before, almost 34% of the women we serve are mothers with children at home. So a really big deal. It is a much needed service, a much needed megaphone for mothers that are going through breast cancer. And we don't ever want anybody to ever have to choose between putting food on the table for their kids and going to their life-saving cancer treatments. So all this while we're having a good time. You could do something serious and have a really good time. And I felt like we did that. So thanks, Fitz. Thanks, Amanda. You both did just an absolutely incredible job. And thanks to all of you for taking the time out of your Mother's Day weekend to come and run with us. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And I can't wait to see you at our next Donna event. Thanks so much.
Man, she is eloquent and delightful.
She is. And with a packed calendar.
I bet. What's interesting is standing at start lines, I'm often given the responsibility to introduce somebody, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a race director. Quite often it's a politician, a mayor, a congressman, or whatever. Sometimes you never know what you're going to get. I love it when I can just turn over a microphone to Donna because I know she's going to get it right every single time. It's like, all right, take it. You got it. Yeah. She's so wonderful. And she works so hard and she's created something out of nothing, which is one of the things I really admire most in business is the creators. And, she is laser focused on something so good. And you guys have, partnered up to make those good things happen. So I just really admire you all. For everyone watching, please use the comments section. You can use the comment section to say hello. You can tell us about your participation this weekend, what you liked most, what made you feel the best. You can ask questions of our team. And then I think we should probably show our video.
I can't wait to see it.
Let's see the video. Leah, do you want to see the video?
Yes.
Chaz?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. I took all of these pictures myself. Pretend I did.
Dance.
Yes. Yes. Also made me want to Guinness a little bit.
A little bit. I know. When they're choosing music, lame. That sounds fun. You know what I love is that we captured every type of person at the event.
Yeah.
You know, it's from, what do we see? One, infants in their carriages, and then people in their 80s, and every color and every religion and all the stuff. All the people can come and have a great time at the Donna events.
Well, and it's sort of what Donna said in her video was how awesome it was to see all the generations, right? You saw so many families, and extended families of friends. Leah, some of my favorite are of you and all of your Omis.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just yeah.
So, Leah, who did you bring with you? It looked like you had a very large group.
I brought my husband and my son and his girlfriend. She was a major supporter, as well. So she's just in our family. Yeah. My daughter, who went through a lot with me and processing everything. And then my yoga sister friends, we've always called each other Omis, and we go on annual yoga retreats together. And I didn't get to do that. So we missed one because of COVID. And then we wanted to do another one. And I couldn't even go to class because of my breast cancer journey. And they had hats made for all of us in that yoga class. And so it was a warrior pose and a lotus flower for Lotus Warrior. And then Leah's Omis is what everyone else wore. And then the back of my hat said Leah. And so that's what they gifted me. And then they found out the lotus flower was going to be the medal and the t-shirt. And they said, that is just incredible and amazing. And signed up and formed a team called Leah's Omis.
Yeah, Omis instead of homies. You have
Omis.
Love it.
Melted my heart completely. I was just overwhelmed. It was just an incredible day. Incredible.
Yeah, it's meaningful to have support, outward support.
Yeah, and work. I mean, I had people approach me. I noticed as I was
You work
walking,
for Black Knight, our title sponsor.
Yes, work for Black Knight, and I noticed some folks had Leah on the back of their the bibs. I'm running for, and I kind of took a peek and I recognized people from work, and so just that outpouring of love with the people you work with is incredible. And I'm rarely speechless, but it rendered me speechless because my cup was so full with all of this love. And people pinged me at work and said, well, I hope we do that every year, because that was just an incredible event. And some of them said, gosh, I saw you at the race and I didn't even know. I didn't know that you had been going through this, because I worked through my breast cancer, minus a few days here and there, and they didn't even know. And so the love just kept flowing even after that day, which was just incredible.
Yeah.
I think it brings so many people together, and it's so meaningful. And this is the first race back for me, even though, this is the first 5K since my diagnosis. It was a breast cancer 5K, and I was doing it as a survivor for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different lens.
Where are you in your treatment? Are you done?
I just finished radiation last week, and I have 5 more immunotherapy infusions. And this is just to make sure the cancer doesn't come back, because there's just no data for my situation. So we're playing it safe. And then, on to reconstruction a few months out. But radiation is done. And actually, I finished radiation the day before our 5K. So when I crossed that finish line, that represented a few things.
Yeah. Well, it's extraordinary to see you living large, and it knocks you back on your heels. I was knocked back pretty far on my treatment, but I see so many women that are like on round 4, their meanest chemo, and they're out running half marathons. And so whatever you're going through out there, if you think it requires you to stop, don't stop. Unless your doctor says you can't for a reason, keep going. Do whatever your body will allow you to. If it's only a walk to the mailbox, fine. Let it be that. If it's participate in a race or a tennis match or pickleball, whatever is, get out and live, because we're still living, right? Even with all these drugs and these zaps, we're still living. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep doing that. Okay, so Amanda, you have some incredible statistics, because we had X amount of people. How many survivors did we have on board?
Yeah. So, typically in any Donna event, obviously there are breast cancer survivors who participate, and they self-designate as a part of registration, and not many people, but there are some people that I just don't want to. But I would say traditionally we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 4% of the field that will be specifically breast cancer survivors that we gush and celebrate over. Last weekend's event, we had like over 9% of the field survivors. I mean, that is, it is so meaningful, because it's exactly what we're there for. Right. And so thank you to everyone who chose to come out and allowed us the opportunity to celebrate you and cheer you over our finish line, and allow your family to come and celebrate you. I mean, I think it's so good for you to begin with. I mean, exercise is absolutely known to be the very best thing that you can do for your body. Both all of us who have either been faced with this or not. But I also think, a platform to celebrate yourself and your achievements, but also everybody that's your homies, to give them an opportunity, that's just equally powerful. So that's it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes about what you're doing and the environment you've created. And like I said, y'all are keeping me on my toes. I'm dedicated to hunting down every survivor and making a stink. The Donna Marathon wore me out, and I got a pretty good workout Saturday morning too. So keep it up. If you want to check that up to 50%, fine.
Let's do it.
I have so many of my athletes in California, and they breast cancer survivors are going through treatment now, have said that's the one I want to do. So they're over in California eyeing the Donna Marathon weekend, and that's their goal. That's their goal.
We're doing it.
The bar.
Yeah, Sweet 16 is this February 2023. It will be, everyone ink your calendars, February the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of 2023. And registration will launch this summer, and we'll be sure to make a big deal of it when it does.
So Sweet 16, does everybody get like a fancy rhinestone headband, or?
I don't know, right? I mean, I took my 16-year-old to a Harry Styles show. So Harry, if you're listening, you should totally come for our sweet. I mean, it's only fair. I went to your show. Come to mine.
And our show.
Yeah, I'm going to complicate your life, because we have to do something 16-ish. So sorry. And I'll do it publicly. So everyone will be like, Amanda, where's our crowns? Where's our rhinestone
It's
crowns?
all good. I have 2 girls. There are plenty of crowns in this house. Actually, I love tiaras. It's one of my favorite things. So
I love it. The Sweet 16 for the Donna. Okay, Chaz, you've been sitting there so patiently as the girls blab away, as we do. So you're in charge of fundraising, and your goal was $20,000 for this weekend. So how did that go?
I will say that between our donors and fundraisers and all of those who are actually still going at it, because we have fundraisers that are still alive, and the business community is still going strong, I'm going to say, even with our honorary race committee and all the work that they did to support the event, that we are right at that 20,000. It is so exciting, because time and time again, we're crossing finish lines at the race, right? That's so important. It's what we do. We love it. But we also have to keep things funded to help the families and the patients. And so everyone really rallied around this goal. And it was a pretty big goal that we set out for an event that we've not had. And it was just spectacular. So thank you to everybody involved. We did it like we always do.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And so what can people do now if they're watching and they think, I'd like to give $5, $50, $5,000, whatever, 5 million.
If somebody wants to give 5 million, I'm going to end this video and I'm going to go ahead and head out to that meeting. But I think what's so important is right now, promoting our Donna Monthly Giving Society. It is the season that we're in. People who join that are giving what they can monthly. So for as little as $19 a month, join the Donna Monthly Giving Society. When the races open up, and Amanda already plugged the one in February, those members get a perk. They get to register for our different races at a discounted rate.
Okay.
And you also get to make an immediate impact by helping somebody this month and the following month, and a long-term impact because we hope that people will keep going. And if somebody wants to give $5, $10, or $5,000 or $5 million, they can certainly contact me at any time.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And, I saw it. I would be in the chemo chair, just getting my infusions or fluids or whatever. And my nurse would say, so-and-so didn't show up today because they couldn't afford gas to get here. And this was in 2019 and 20. So I imagine there's so many other people who can't afford XYZ. How could you miss chemo? Like, I flew across the country to get home for chemo on time. The fact that you're skipping your life-saving treatment because you can't afford to get there or whatever's going on, you guys are really helping people where they need it. And times are tough right now. This economy is insanity. So I hope everybody will contribute.
And help us, continue to support the volume of families, who need it. We, certainly over the pandemic, the need, the calls from families to our team doubled. Wow. It was intense in terms of how much need there was out there, and it's still growing, interestingly enough. So that's wonderful that we're here for you. Anyone can call. So if you're listening in, you have a friend that needs our help, please call us. But to Chaz's point, that monthly giving society is a great way to, for as little as your coffee,
right.
You're helping a family not have to make that choice.
That's incredible. Where's it going to go? I still have the chemo brain. It just falls out of my head sometimes. I was going to say something very impressive. It was going to be something hilarious and smart and wise. And now it's gone. Okay. So, this is what I was going to say is if you're going through the treatment, ask your friends too. I mean, we have this foundation, but people want to help. They always say, let me know if I can help. If you need someone to come fold your laundry, this is the time to ask for help. I think it's important for everybody to know that it's okay once in a while to put your ego aside. And when I had people help me, whether they drove me to an appointment or this and that, my commitment was that I would pay it forward. And when I was done being sick, I would bend over backwards to help as many people as possible. So if you're in that position and you're just thinking, oh, you can't ask, don't be ridiculous. You can ask. Yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we talked about families. There was Team Courtney, one of my favorite groups out on our course. I called them the Courtney Racing Team. It was a mother, a father, a little girl, and 2 boys. All 5 of them, the Courtney Racing Team. I think they're committed to your races for the rest of their lives.
That's great to hear.
They were so cute. Did you see they were at the award ceremony? I think like 3 out of the 5.
Yes. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes.
Super, super cute. And then we had one woman cross the finish line. She, I asked her, I said, you're a survivor. How far out? She was 74 years young. And she said, I've had it 3 times. 74. Oh, and her last time was 40 years ago.
Wow.
Can you imagine having breast cancer 3 times, 40
years ago? Woo.
Incredible. And there she is up running your race.
Did you meet Sarah? Do you remember meeting Sarah across the finish line, survivor? Our friend Dr. Dawn introduced me to Sarah and shared her story with me actually this afternoon.
Let's hear it. I'm sure I did.
And so she's in treatment. She's in the throes of the hardest chemo, regimen there is, right? Sporting the beautiful bald head and the whole thing, and trained for this event, right? She set out to run this 5K, not just finish it, but to run it. And so she's only 34 years old.
Wow.
And she trained and ran with her boyfriend, and sort of the funny after the fact is that she was super proud of herself. Her boyfriend was all sore and she wasn't.
That's awesome.
So he's limping around, ran the 5K and, limping around, and she's all studding it out going, no big deal. But
I love it. He's got
yeah.
me so impressed by her.
Yeah. Rock stars, all of them. But I love that, I think that the more we can partner with physicians like Dr. Musalem and bring, these sort of goals to, folks that are in treatment, to, have them prepare and walk and train and continue to move if that is something that their doctor deems wise for them to do. Just no better thing for your body, I think. And there's all kinds of studies that are showing that.
Yeah. So Dawn and I, or Dr. Musalem and I, had a conversation just recently, and she was sharing some fantastic statistics. But yeah, you are more likely to win your battle with breast cancer if you exercise during treatment. So exercise becomes a control factor, something you can do to save your own life, as is wise nutrition. These are things that you can do that benefit you in the success process, and then they help you prevent recurrence. So if you're someone who's been through it, you're done, you don't want to do it again, the best thing you can do for your body is to put in nutritious food, exercise often, avoid alcohol, avoid cigarettes, things like that. So it's nice to know we have control, because you feel so powerless when someone looks at you and says, you got cancer. And, I'm exhibit A of the person who did almost everything right. I've never been perfect, but you think, what could I have done? But then for them to say, here's statistical evidence to show you that if you keep doing these things, you're much, much more likely to survive now and then not have to deal with it again. And so it's wonderful when you preach it and then you give them a really fun, enticing opportunity to do it.
Yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but like that, the whole festival atmosphere, right? It was like it was back. I mean, it's been sort of the slow roll of getting things back to feeling like, and Fitz, you've only been at Donna events, post pandemic.
Yeah.
But to see, all of our partners be able to come back and activate and engage with all of our runners, and that was really great to see. We had some coincidental cadence with our two other events of this Fearless series that sort of aligned with our friend Delta and our friend Omicron. So it was really nice to be back out in the Florida sunshine and see all the tents up. It was great. I took like 100 selfies of myself with all the tents behind me.
Yeah, it was awesome. Oh, go on, Chaz.
Amanda, some of those partners we hadn't seen in some of them even 2.5 years. So I'm with you. That was so powerful and magical. And it's almost like you have to reintroduce yourself, because we've all seen each other on Zoom squares for so long that, even the person who works with all of our partners, I want to thank them. They came out, they supported us on a beautiful day for a beautiful cause. And we can't do it without them. And when they come out and support and engage, it's helping our families and our patients and our whole atmosphere grow, so we can do it all again next time, even twice as much.
Yeah. So those business and community partners, go ahead and give them some love. Chaz, Amanda.
Yeah, I can't thank Black Knight enough for being a title sponsor. And Leah, you have just the most amazing team and people behind you.
Oh, yes.
And just an awesome company. And for those who don't know, Leah's also on our board. So we just kind of swept her up, and we have her in all ways possible. And just like her sign above, saying fearless, just above her head there, Leah's brought that silver lining and that fearless piece to everything that we do. And so do our partners. We had the Tom Bush family of dealerships out there. What I liked about that sponsorship is that they presented the Drive Away breast cancer concept. And so Michelle Mecca and her husband, Michelle's in treatment, got to ride in the car with Brian Bush, the pace car, and celebrate survivorship in a very powerful, meaningful way. So I had to at least give a shout out to them as well.
Okay, so our friends from Tom Bush, the guy doing the kicking, he's in the video. Who's that guy? Is he Tom Bush?
That's Brian.
Brian, okay.
So Tom is his dad.
Okay, so Brian Bush. I knew there was a Bush in there.
So Brian and Megan are brother sister, and they are the leaders and head honchos of an amazing organization. They get involved. Their grandmother was a breast cancer survivor.
Okay.
And they've been partners of the Donna Foundation for years. So, in just about every, event scenario, we're like, would you guys, before we could get out, would you guys like to? They're like, yes, we're all in.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Brian Bush is a fun guy. So he's welcome at any of my start lines. And, and the kicking thing he was doing, that's normally what I do across the house. I'm getting ready for bed. I fake karate my whole family. So I was like, that guy. Yes, I identify with those weird moves. So we love him. And then
he's a hoot.
And then our crew from Mayo Clinic came out. Dawn brought a giant team from Mayo, which was awesome to see. How many survivors did she bring personally?
I know her team was nearly 40 people big.
Yeah.
All in. So obviously some of those were some of her patients and also her colleagues. Dr. Chumsbury was there. So the very people that are treating all of the survivors out there were right there, shoulder to shoulder, running together. That's got to be cool, right? If the very the clinical environment is such a clinical environment. When you can look beside you and the very person that is responsible for your treatment is running and walking and enjoying themselves. That's just that has to be powerful.
So cool. I wish my oncologist would go for a run with me. I like him so much. He's so nice. But
we got to get on him. Invite him to February.
You know
what
are
you doing?
We'll do that. We're going to
challenge him.
Dr. Lucio Gordon, if anybody knows Dr. Gordon.
Dr. Gordon, we need to see you out there, bud.
And he runs too.
No excuses.
That's right. No excuses. He's a doll, and I'm very appreciative to him. All right. We've got a comment from Miss Bonnie Brooks. Amazing, Leah. Fun, happy hour packet pickup. True. Mm-hmm. From the start line to the finish, keeping the crowd cheering and jumping during awards we had a fun time at awards, right?
That was probably one of the funnest award ceremonies I've ever been to, because they can get kind of, you're 3 deep in every age group possible, right?
You know what? I will not accept humdrum at any part. I think the whole race experience should be fun. And you know what? I will be as ridiculous as it takes, but it always helps when the crowd shows up happy, when they're gamers, because they could have totally ignored me and bowed out of the shenanigans. Instead, everybody dove right in. You and Donna were leading the charge. Yeah, we had a good time at awards, right?
We did.
Your energy was
more than woohoo.
It was awesome.
Yeah, woohoo and oh yes and geez and
and we love him.
That's right. And folks, you don't have to win an award to show up at the award ceremony. So next time we're at a race together, stick around. We're gonna have
Yippee-ki-yay!
That's right. That's right. I almost started running out of options, but I did not. Okay, so there's a couple more athletes, and you mentioned Michelle Mecca, but her great news, which is worth repeating. So she was part of our Celebrate Every Mom broadcast about a month ago. Very compelling story. Stage 4 breast cancer had metastasized to her brain, and then last week she got the news that the tumors are gone in her brain, and they think a few of the other marks are just scar tissue. So
amazing.
Huge.
Wow.
Huge.
Yeah. So exciting. She's going to be a Donna. She's going to be around for whatever. She's going to be one of those people who's like, I had breast cancer 40 years ago.
Agreed. What did she say? Kicking the can? 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 30 years. I loved her comments to everyone at the start of the event, sort of setting the stage and really looking at everybody and saying, this matters.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you can get kind of caught up in the pink and the ribbon and you almost sort of miss it. That no. This is Leah is here and Michelle is here.
Yeah.
And, the other 70 women and men, my friend Jim was there, our guy, breast cancer survivor. So, these are real people that we're celebrating and they're here.
You can't deny what's going on when, you see these women and men. And so Jim is actually where I was going to go next. Jim Keegan came out with his wife. They're a lovely couple, but Jim had breast cancer 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that he takes part, not only because we love having him, he and his wife are fantastic people, but it's that exhibit A. And I think sometimes guys need to hear it too. And he said that the mortality rate is much higher for men, probably because a guy feels a lump and just completely ignores it, just thinks it's, I don't know what could be, but folks, do not ignore any of your body's red flags. If you've got pain in your chest, that's your body saying, help, I can't pump blood anymore. Or if you find lumps and bumps, something's going weird. You should yield that red flag and go to your doctor. But Jim, I think, will impact so many men by just showing up every single time.
Yeah. Paying attention, self-exams, mammograms. These are all important. Chaz, you mentioned early in the call when you first hopped on that you and I just come from an event this afternoon. We have a new mobile mammography unit that has been unveiled just tonight from our friends at Baptist MD Anderson, the Buddy Bus. And so definitely look for them in the community to provide those mammogram services that are so important.
Is that free for someone who wants to get on the bus and give it a go?
As far as I know, that's the design of it is that it will go out into the community. That way, if you're in need of one, you can, register. It's sort of like the blood mobiles that go around only for mammography screening. Yeah, going out into some of the neighborhoods that are the underserved, and which I love. I think as much as we can do what's right for our bodies and stay healthy and screen and squeeze our stuff. The less you'll need help from organizations like the Donna Foundation down the road.
That's right, and by all means, just catch it quickly. That was always my philosophy. I just thought, you know what? If I ever have just one cancer cell in my body, I want to know about it right away so I can crush it. And I found that thing pretty quickly, and it wasn't playing around. So time was of essence for me, and I know it's of essence for a lot of people. So do not ignore stuff, and don't ever let money come between you and the care you need. There are so many, not only the Donna Foundations, but there are so many wonderful organizations. You make some phone calls, put your tail between your legs and say, hey, I need help. I found something and I need a scan, and someone's going to show up for you. I promise. Right.
And I would just add to that really quick that, I felt nothing. I discovered nothing and nearly canceled that mammogram because I felt it was inconvenient for my day. So get the mammograms, even if you don't detect anything, because my stage 2 lymph node and all, and I felt nothing. I had no detection. So it's so important just, to get those, screenings, because sometimes you don't feel anything. Sometimes you don't have symptoms, and you get checked regularly. You can still catch it early.
That's right. So I think all the exams, so your skin checked and your eyes and your pap smear and your prostate and all the stuff need to be checked. I am volunteering in a few weeks to have colonoscopy, my very first. I have some healthy marathon running friends who have randomly been diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. So I get it. I hear them and I'm going, but this is what everybody needs to know. Are you ready for this? Lean in, everybody. Look, my doctor is handsome.
Oh no!
I went in for my appointment and I was like,
oh no.
I was so mad.
Oh, that's amazing.
Just win a lot.
Oh, it's gonna be horrible. I know, but I'm gonna do it because I'm a big girl. But this is also what's going to happen is once they start putting me under the loose lips thing shift, I'm going to tell this man how gorgeous he is. That's going to be the other awkward part of it is I know.
Oh,
But that's
awesome.
okay. That's okay. If somebody's squeezing your boobs or doing the colonoscopy, doesn't matter what they look like. It matters what they know, right?
That's right.
Pray
Oh
for
gosh,
me.
that's
Pray for
fun.
me. I know. I'm all like, bless my heart, my whole stupid thing. Okay, so we had so much fun this weekend. Players Club 5K. We have a big event coming up in the fall. Tell us about that, Amanda.
So we will be launching our series this summer, and we're actually meeting with our friends at the PGA Tour next week to begin thinking about, what our next season will look like. So yeah, keep your eyes out for all of the communication from us so that we can set the dates. For certain, we're going to be out there in February for our Sweet 16 with our tiaras and sashes.
Right.
That's going to be so fun. We have to do that in the finish line for sure. And yeah, we'll let you know as soon as those dates are locked in.
That's awesome. And are you re-implementing the Fearless series? Because there's a 4th medal that comes along, correct?
There is. Yes, there is. Yeah, I mean, yes, for sure.
And do people have to start fresh with the race in the fall? Or if they did the Donna and February and this weekend, can the 3rd race be any 3rd race?
Nope, it starts fresh now. So we've this is the time of year where it's weird. I come to my computer every day and start my day, and one of the first things that as a executive director, event director, you do is you go and you look at registration. Well, what happened with registration yesterday? We have nothing open right now. It's so weird. It's the few months that we have where we're in deep planning. We're talking about, we're honestly listening to all of your feedback, everyone, your surveys that you send us, that they're not just surveys that go in the trash. We actually sit with them. We read your comments. We talk about them. We talk about ways that we can improve and, make those polish points and then come back with a launch. Traditionally July 1. So summer, I'm going to commit to summer. You never quite know the actual date until you're ready. But yeah, we will start our Fearless series fresh, and everyone, participate across all of our events for the season and get that added Fearless medal.
I love it. I love it. Is there anything you'd like to add, Leah?
I would just extend another thank you to the sponsors and the businesses and all of the supporters. I think as breast cancer patients, we don't pause to celebrate everything that we've gone through because it's just on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And I observed so many other survivors who were glowing for the same reason I was, which is, wow, we just have to pause and take it all in and really reflect on it, whether it's been 6 months ago, 5 years ago, it doesn't matter. And that's significant. Coming together as a community to do that, you're really lifting survivors like me up to really pause and appreciate and celebrate that process and that journey, which helps us pay it forward. So thank you. Huge thank you to everybody who came and supported the cause.
Fantastic, Leah. Chaz?
Yeah, and as we talked a little bit about, thanking everyone and also thinking about the different generations that were there, in the videos and in the photos, Fitz, and even in person during race day, I saw all these Donna shirts from years back. So thank you to everyone who keeps showing up. Please continue to do so. Next year in 2023 will be our 20th year anniversary as a foundation.
Wow.
So let's make it big. If you have your older shirts, bring them on back. We want to see all that different color and all the pink. So thank you, everyone.
Amanda?
I would say in the lens of gratitude, Fitz and Leah, as survivors involved in all of this, thank you for being willing to share your stories.
Yes.
That's not an easy thing to do. And so I appreciate your being willing to share your experience, because that's what opens the door for others to come in and enjoy all of that gushy love. So I appreciate the both of you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's this organization is a blessing, and I reached out to you last fall, Amanda. I was like, hey, I don't know if you have a race announcer, but I happen to be one, and I happen to have done the breast cancer thing, and I couldn't be happier with the opportunity to really put my breast cancer nonsense in the back seat and serve others. It's just it's so wonderful. The more, the merrier. I hope we continue to get mass participation from our men and women who've gone through it, because I get it. I all of our roads are very different, but I know they're all really hard, rocky roads. And so at least to take a moment to tell people, who knows what their family or friends are saying, but to grab everybody and say, we love you, we care about you, we think you're fantastic. Today, right here is a special opportunity. So pretty fabulous. Okay, so social media, we have Donna Foundation on Facebook, and then what is the other? We have 2 pages.
We do, yeah. So there is 262 with Donna. And that's mostly race-centric kind of stuff, right? So, my runners, athletes, we talk about things like taper madness and, all of the things.
Okay.
And then the Donna Foundation is also another handle that we have out there in social media land, where you get a little more updates on what we're doing for patients, impact information, how you can get help if you need it. Some of those kind of angles.
And then on the gram?
But same thing. We've
thing.
got 262 with Donna on the gram, and the Donna Foundation on the gram as well. Also Twitter.
Oh,
yep. Twitter. So Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are sort of where our jam is.
All right. And then Leah, how do people follow you? Can they?
Me?
You.
I just got back on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, through 8 months, I was kind of on the down low there for a little while. And how social media changes over 8 months. It is just incredible trying to find certain buttons. So I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
I know, my daughter's like telling me where everything is. And I'm on Instagram now. Was just introduced to TikTok not too long ago.
What is your Instagram handle?
Instagram handle is Runs and Repeat, which might be changed to Lotus Warrior.
Oh boy.
I'm going to kind of open that up a little bit more, just, to broaden that forum to just share my hacks with what got me through the difficult situation and help raise awareness around what the Donna Foundation makes available, which thank you, Amanda and Chaz, for providing this forum, because in Fitz, I'm sure you feel this way. The biggest reward coming out the other end of this is being able to help someone else, to be able to lift someone else up, because we can relate. And that makes our journey even more meaningful. So getting back on social media, I'll try to be near as noisy.
Okay.
But going to be putting the word out a lot more.
All right. That's Runs and Repeat.
Yes.
Runs and Repeat right now. And then Chaz and Amanda, do you guys have handles you want to share, or is it just the Donna Foundation?
Sure. I mean, I'm happy for you to follow me. I think I'm Amanda Knapp. I should know these things.
It makes you sound like you're
Runs and Run Repeat. I'm with you, Amanda. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. What am I? I don't know. If you want to see a lot of, dance photos of
That's right.
Of my teenager.
What about you, Chaz?
I think mine is Chaz TR. So I'm having a moment as well of not really knowing my handle, but I think it's very simple. It's probably Chaz TR. I'm sure if you type in Chaz, there's not that many out there. So.
And I feel like the smartest person in the room, because this is it. I'm everywhere. Fitness.
I need one of those.
Everyone needs their own little neon sign. That's right. Hey, we've got a sweet comment from one of our favorite athletes, Dawn Stahersky, Salem Bass. Getting on late. I just love listening to this energizing group. Man, she's the Energizer Bunny. Leah and Fitz, you're both such an inspiration. Thank you. Beautiful message. Truly a touching event. Still overflowing with love from Saturday. Can't wait to the next event. And we will be bringing a huge team. I believe that. I believe she's going to at least double her participants next time.
Love you, Dawn.
We love her. All right, friends. So I'm going to kick everyone out. It's getting close to bedtime for lots of people. But I'm going to replay our video. And I want everyone to go follow our friends, follow the Donna Foundation so you can be updated. So when we all get together in the fall and beyond, you're not missing anything. All right, you ready to say goodbye? And then I'll play the video.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. We
Good
love
Bye,
you.
everyone.